Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to a brand new live stream. Today we have a very simple objective that hopefully we're going to meet, because I was expecting to get this done yesterday, but we still didn't manage to get it done. Regardless, today's goal is rather simple. We are going to try and finish our coal power plant designs. Now, off camera and also on camera yesterday, we ended up designing something that ends up looking a bit like this. And of course, I will show you this in actual gameplay footage in just a moment, but I want to try and make a few improvements straight off the bat. A few of these things we did yesterday, but a couple of other things I've done off camera that I want to try and add because I think it could make the build look a bit nicer. That's the goal at least. First of all, I do quite like this pattern here in the floor, so I do want to try and add that. Secondly, we have these beam connectors, and we also have these like barrier things. I think they look quite nice there as well. Now, something that I've actually thought about last night at literally 1:30 in the morning, because I couldn't sleep like usual, is that for this bit along the side here, it's indented into the actual build itself. But what I was thinking about was, what if I extend it out of the actual main build itself? Because as of right now, when I've got, like, let's say 50 or 60 of these lined up next to each other, the project or the build's going to look relatively flat. I don't want it to look flat, so if I was to add some sort of beam that just like stretches out here a little bit, that could break apart some of the project, so I think that could look quite nice. Also, I was thinking about having some sort of like entrance into like the back rooms almost, if you will. So if we get rid of one of these coal generators, of course, like this actual blueprint's fine, but then make a second blueprint where you can then enter it from the middle here, have like a door that you can go in behind the back and just walk around the back, because I want to try and do that anyway, so I feel like that would be a fairly interesting idea, and I feel like it could work out really well, and it should be fairly simple to construct, although I don't want to jinx it, so regardless, let's skip over that. And the very last thing, you might be able to notice a difference here and here. Welcome Pixel Perfect, hope that you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. But essentially, the very small difference here is that we have like a very small concrete foundation there, and here we don't. I want to add that concrete foundation because I don't like the way that's like half sticking out. Welcome Dr. Caesar on Twitch, hope that you're doing good, man. Welcome C Shark over on YouTube. In case you guys aren't aware, I am currently co-streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. So if you guys love YouTube and don't like Twitch, you can watch on YouTube, and vice versa as well. If you don't like YouTube but like Twitch, you can always follow me over there, link in the description. Regardless, yes, that is the plan. So let's try and get Satisfactory open. Just kidding, I've already got it open because that would take an hour and a half to do otherwise. And also, let's go ahead and mute that music there in the background. And I know it's Planet Coaster music, but I think it sounds pretty cool at least. So let's select that to 40 seconds. And let's talk a little bit about what we are witnessing. I have made this part of the map look like an absolute war zone. It looks messy, and that's because it is. It is absolutely chaotic. Right towards the very bottom left of the screen, we have one of our blueprints, and again, in the center screen, we've got like our main blueprint that we're working on. Then towards the right side of the screen, I'm sort of assembling it all together, just to make sure that it all doesn't look terrible. And so far, everything's okay. We have made a few improvements, but I think doing this is actually a very, very helpful thing for me to try and do. And I suppose I'll give you guys a very quick tour, and I will actually lower my game's graphics here to medium, because I feel like my FPS is struggling now. There we go. And the audio seems very low. I don't know why, but the audio seems very quiet today. Oh well. In fact, should I increase that very slightly? I know why it's doing that. There we go. That's a bit better. Because I like to try and actually hear the game itself, because it sounds a bit more immersive that way. Oh, holy lag. So, a few days ago, this was the design that I was able to come up with. And it looks similar to what I've made now, just without like the pieces that I kind of wanted. And there is a pretty big difference between this and what we've currently made. I think what we've currently made is far better than this. I planned on having the roof a lot lower. I was going to have the path just along here, whereas now we've elevated it a little bit. But the actual like main design of it is relatively similar. The wall's still there, although now I think it's a bit further back. So we've done like a little extra half nudge, and I think that's definitely better. And again, this design here is kind of similar to what I've got going on right now, but we've got lights and it's asphalt rather than just like the basic foundation there. So I think it's definitely a really big improvement. And that just goes to show you how much an improvement you can make with items from the awesome shop. Because really, that's what it is. Like, the actual design, again, is relatively familiar, relatively similar. It's just it's just the awesome shop elements that have been added into it. So yeah, I think it's pretty decent. You're obsessed with the look of this game. You're angry it's not on console. Soon. It's coming to console soon. If I get any more news about it, I'll make a video. But I don't think we've got any further updates about this game coming out on console. It is happening, though. It is happening. They've confirmed it. I want to try and add this right here. Again, the game's audio sounds really low to me. That's all fine. That is really weird. It's not my headset, is it? I don't think it's my headset that's the problem. At least I hope not. Okay, I think you're a bit too far indented. Actually, you both are. Okay, that's unfortunate. There we go. I think what I'm actually going to do here, enable zoop mode, half nudge you out just like that, and then, oh, are you joking me? I'll just do this then, that's fine. There we go. Perfect, and I think that should be it. If I really wanted to, I could actually add a wall in right here. Is that going to end up looking nice? Is it going to stick out? I don't think it should do. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's the very first thing done. That was relatively simple, luckily. The next thing that I want to try and do now is add in our low barriers, which should only take like a couple seconds to do, luckily. I'm going to turn up my game volume for you guys there a little bit. Just make it a bit louder. But yeah, the actual look of this game is really good. It may be a bit too loud now. There we go. Yeah, do let me know if the audio is too loud or too quiet, and I will adjust it to suit. And you want to go over there. Then what else did I say I was going to do? I think that we said that we were going to add our beam connectors, right? Yes, there we go. I thought for a second I wouldn't be able to, but no, luckily the gods have blessed us, and we can. Because that is rather annoying when you want to try and add like a beam connector or something towards the very edge of a blueprint, and then the game's like, no. Nah. Just stop. Got away with it this time though. Audio's good for you? Nice, I'm glad. I nudged that in the wrong spot. I did. Nice. Your talent. There we go. Get a couple more of these placed in. No. That feels good. And, oh, okay. How many times am I going to fall down today? I'm going to say at least 46 times. Because yesterday it must have been near 46 as well, if I'm honest. Some elements look similar to Minecraft. Yeah, I mean, some parts do. But luckily it's a very different game. I don't mind Minecraft, but I much prefer Satisfactory. I think that's more of like an age thing as well. Like, when I was a lot younger, I used to love Minecraft. Yet, the older I've gotten, the more I've strayed away from that game. I don't know what it is. I think it's like the slight cartoonish look that I'm not a massive fan of. Whereas this game, it just feels... I don't know, it's a really good game. Like, I can't quite put my finger on why this game is so good. But there's just something about it that intrigues you to come back to play it. It doesn't feel childish. I suppose that's a pretty big element as well. I just want to try and add this thing here. Is this going to work? I mean, you do unfortunately stick out, but surely we can just iron out the mistakes, right? Yeah. There's so many white lines on my screen. It's actually unbelievable. Although now you seem a bit too low. How are you too low now? How have I even done that? Let's try that again. There we go. That's much better height. I generally don't know how I managed to snap that to like a very peculiar height there, but oh well. Maybe I snapped it onto that instead. Wait, no, it's still a bit low. So how are you lower than that? Okay, third guess, which could be the problem here. I want you to be positioned, no, like that. Then go up by, no. Then go up by half a nudge. Then over by half a nudge there as well. Now what are we saying? That's a lot better. Am I happy with that design? I think I am. I do most likely want to try and change that though. Can I try and do like a bright yellow and a black? I mean, that definitely stands out, but does it stand out too much now? Let's try orange. Because then at least it will match with the lights. Also, yes, episode 4 of our series is finally going to be coming out tomorrow. I know it's been quite a long wait, so I do apologize for that. But essentially, today... funny and painful story at the same time. I was recording parts for episode 5 of our Satisfactory survival series, okay? The one that I've currently just started like about a week and a half ago. And I spent 6 hours recording today. And, you know, making some blueprints for a project that I'm planning, all that sort of jazz. 6 hours recording. I got 4 minutes worth of footage from that. So, that's not very good, essentially. It's not very good at all. You liked games like GTA, Fortnite, and sort of like childish games when I was like, yeah, I mean, everyone has their taste of games. And that's fine. Okay, now I want to try and get rid of you two, then essentially replicate that on the other side. And I think that's quite a nice little addition here. Because the thing is, like I was saying yesterday, I can continuously just keep adding items onto this project. But I'm not necessarily sure if I want to. Because sometimes too much is too much. I feel like I discover that quite a lot in Satisfactory. Sometimes less is more, as the saying goes. It's also quite difficult to see what I'm actually doing here. How come? Essentially, the things that I was building, because it was quite a lot of building, I couldn't really show much footage of me building it because it was quite boring to see. So what I would do is I would say what I was going to build, I'd add like a snippet of me halfway through the build, and then I'll show what it's like towards the very end, and then I'll give some like tips about some stuff and some advice about some other things as well. But because of the way that I'm recording it, it's difficult to include into the video because it just ends up being rather boring, and I don't want the videos to be boring, essentially. So I'd much rather cut out like 4 hours worth of footage and then cut it down to like 2 minutes of like a fun, entertaining sequence of clips, rather than just 10 or 20 minutes of me doing something like this, for example. This is why I do my streams, so I can essentially do what I do for the clips, but in a long form sort of content. Just so you guys can see like the method behind the madness, rather than just being like, oh, he's built that. Okay. I feel like it's more immersive. So we've now done that bit, and that's completely fine. I don't think there was anything else I was going to add here. Done that. Oh yeah, okay, this next thing that I wanted to try and do, which I probably didn't explain very well. I want to try and get... Where is it? The small concrete pillar. And essentially, this is... It can go, but for now I'm going to keep it there. And then no. And then I want to try and add you... here. How far out do I want you to go? I suppose we'll start with this. And we'll see what it ends up looking like. If it doesn't look good, I can just get rid of it. I think I want you to go that far out, so it will jut out by a pretty significant distance. But I think it's going to be worth it. So you're slightly out of place, aren't you? That's a shame. 'Cause yeah, you're sort of like built into there, and I actually do kind of prefer that. Let's just try that again. There. These half nudges, I've been doing a lot of half nudging recently, and I feel like it is actually rather beneficial to these projects. See, that's what I was looking for right there. This tiny little nudge out there. And I think that's going to make a lot of difference. So let's save this blueprint for the 200th billionth time. There we go. Then let's come back up here again. And I know this area looks very unorganized, but I know roughly how it works and how this area flows together. So it's not too difficult to walk around, luckily. And I suppose the very first thing that I want to try and do is actually place down one of these blueprints over there. And how many of these can I actually afford? Not even one. That doesn't really help our cause. So, that's actually quite annoying. Let's just try and gather the resources needed to make like 3 or 4 of these things. And have I got any of my resources here? I can find the main entrance for this thing. Where is this thing? Oh, it's the other side. There we go. Is there anything in here? No. That was worth it. Wow. That fantastic stuff there. Really fantastic stuff. So we need cable, we need concrete, we need encased industrial beams. Luckily, I've got a pretty fair amount of all of them. That's not too bad. Also, thank you very much, by the way, guys, for the 9 members on the channel. That's pretty cool. So thank you to everyone who has decided to become a member. There we go. That should be fine. Let's try and get back on top now. Ah, I was going to try something that... Yeah, that speed jump does save quite a lot of time. I would recommend it. So we see that blueprint right there. I think it's... This might be the wrong... Wait, I'm not going to do it. Because I've got 2 blueprints there on my hotbar. One of them's a spoiler for a future episode, and one of them isn't. Okay, there we go. Good. Okay. So if I was to press it, I would have spoiled what I was doing. But luckily, I didn't. It's nothing major. But still, it's a spoiler. So I think you're going to go in there, and that fits rather nicely. Let's just plop that down. We'll then get rid of you. Then get rid of everything else down here as well. Lovely. Welcome, Santa. Why am I using Mark IV belts already? You'd have to see it in episode 4 and episode 5. As to why I'm using them. Okay, I would then want to try and nudge you together over here. Perfect. And is this going to do what I kind of hope it is going to do? Because if not, then... Oh dear. 1. Yes, there we go. You facing the right way? You are, yes. I think that's where I want you to go, right? Yes. Okie dokies. Let's assess what we've done here. It would help if it was actually daytime, but as pure usual, I started my stream when the game went to night, but oh well. Yeah, I do quite like that. I mean, it very barely juts out, but I feel like that it will make a pretty big difference eventually, so I'm rather happy with that. The patterns there are all fine there as well. No problems with that. The next thing that I want to try and do now is very slightly edit this blueprint, add in our foundations there as well, and that pattern. Does the pattern line up? No, so it's now going round the other way. That's not going to work out. Future of chocolate's changing. Is that video still public? I thought I took down that video. I mean, it wasn't a bad video, it's just a bit random. Okay, don't do that. Okay, that's just not aligning. I know why that's not aligning, it's just rather annoying. Oh well. So I've got to try and move you a little bit to the right, I suppose. Or the left should actually work pretty good as well. Then you're fine as well. Okay, so... let's try and get them to line up. Then that should be pretty good, I think. Yeah. Am I going to make that jump? Of course not. No. Might as well lower you down a little bit. What did I use to start over again? Well, for a couple reasons. One, my PC just couldn't handle the save I was currently playing in. And second of all, I've got much better ideas and a better understanding of how I want to try and lay out my future factories. And because of what I did in my previous save, I wouldn't have been able to do what I was planning. So starting over again would have been a lot easier. And I also don't want to rely as much on trains or rocket fuel, because the rocket fuel recipe that I did before wasn't very good at all. I didn't like it, and it kind of overcomplicated things. So I started over just for that reason. Well, for a few reasons, but those are the main two. Okay, so you're going to line up there with that, and then I'm going to nudge you over like so. I think that should be okay now. Save that blueprint, then we'll try it again. I feel like starting over was most certainly the best thing that I could have done. It's exciting for me personally, finally having a new series, something just to dedicate some time to. And overall, it's just a pretty fun experience. Wait, what? Overlapping other objects clearance. You shouldn't be, so that should be fine now. I think did I build you too high? I did. Okay, I built you too high. At least you've lined up. I actually don't know if that's going to line up properly. Let's see. So you end right there. No, that wasn't even lined up properly anyway. So I've got to... Maybe I've got to half nudge that. That could be a fix, actually. Just doing a quick half nudge. Welcome, Maximus. Hope that you're doing good. Welcome, Xander. Hope that you guys are doing well. Yeah, definitely lower you down there a little bit. And I want you to be on this level. Okay. Not too bad. There, I think, right? Yes. And then I said a half nudge, which I don't feel like that's even correct. But apparently it is, so I'm gonna go with it. Sure. Let's try it again. And I know it's like a very minuscule sort of thing, but I just want to try and get this right. Because I know I kept on saying this yesterday, but when you get the small things right, the bigger things just work out. It's like if you're doing a maths equation, and then you get one very small part of the maths equation wrong, the entire thing's going to be wrong. Come on. Is it going to line up? You little rascal. So how am I going to line that up then? Because again, you're off by like half a foundation. You absolute bugger. Okay, I don't know why I keep attempting this jump. It never works. Didn't you join the army? Yes. I've gone the wrong way. Cool. So, I suppose what I'm going to do here is... Also, why are you sticking out like that? And do I want you to stick out like that? I suppose yes. I mean, it should stick out like that. I don't see why it shouldn't. What have I done with this blueprint? So you're fine there. Is there not a gap? No. Okay. Wow, why? I know why, that's actually fine, okay. That's all good. So, does the orange contrast with the blue in a nice way? I don't feel like it's bad. I feel like if that had blue there in the middle, that could end up looking quite nice. Can we try that? Yeah, I do like the blue here. I wasn't planning on building a blue-scented factory here, but I feel like the blue contrast with the orange, with the grey, with a little bit of a green and red there ends up working out pretty well, so I do want to try and stick with that. Then with you, what I'm actually going to try and do here Again, place you where you were before, then try and nudge you out a little bit. And let's see how this is going to go. Like that. Please just be right. That's fine. If this is not right, this is definitely something I would do off camera. Because it's going to get annoying otherwise. Here we go. Very final attempt for this, and we'll work on some other parts. Because again, this blueprint's not done. I'm actually going to very quickly move that out of the way. So then what I could do is just add a wall there. Then it just gets rid of all like this random stuff in here that I don't particularly like. And I don't know what I'm going to do with my chimneys just yet. No idea. As of right now, they're just going to stay there. Maybe in the future I'll add something there which is going to remove them visually. Or something. I don't know. Don't know. We'll see what we'll do with the chimneys. Right. So, I'm going to add you now. Couple nudges over there. Are you going to look much better? Let's see. I can already tell it's not going to line up. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, the blueprints are overlapping. Do I want it to do that? Oh, I know why it's doing that. So, this has been placed a little bit too far forwards. But that's not a bad thing, though. Oh, there's a bit of Z snapping. That's the problem, then. So maybe where it was positioned before wasn't necessarily wrong, but it was too far forward, so it made it look out of place. I feel like that's the big problem. But regardless, like I said, I'm not going to redesign that now because it's annoying to do. I'll do it off camera. The next thing that I now want to try and do, and this actually shouldn't be too annoying to do, is I'm going to grab a wall, and we're actually going to use a brand new 1.1 item, which is quite nice. I don't think I've used too many of those 1.1 items so far in this playthrough. In fact, I'm thinking, have I used anything new in update 1.1 so far? I'm not going to show too much of my inventory because it will spoil what I've unlocked. But I don't know. But yeah, regardless, the thing that I was going to use is this, the conveyor wall haul. I think it looks pretty cool. Actually, before I do that. There we go. I think I showed you guys, actually I definitely showed you guys me unlocking signs. I've literally got like 205,000 signs in this one blueprint. So I'll go into organization. And then I think what I'm actually going to do is copy and paste this over there. If I can get up there. Of course we can. When there's a will, there's a way. Is this the part where you get mauled to death by a pig? Luckily, I have turned off the hostile hogs. Because as I was recording the last couple of episodes, I have been, as you say, mauled to death by a hog. A lot. Very much so, a lot. So I have turned it off. Not because I'm bad at the game. No. That's a lie. That's a false accusation. It's because it's because of no comments. That's why. No comments. Anyway, splitter, that's what we needed. And you are going to go into there. Lovely. And exactly how much core do we need down here? I believe it's 40, because I've got 66.667 megawatts being produced. Yeah, so that's 120 core per 3 generators, which I still feel is the best way of doing it. Welcome, Shiny Mewy. Hope that you're doing good. Welcome. So then I'm going to add this right here, and change that to you, then change that to you. I don't mind that. Thought I could look a little bit better here. Does it? Also, I really hate how this glossy look looks. And turn that off as well. There we go. Just a nice black background. That's perfect. So one matte. One matte. Why do you look so grey? Oh. Because you are. That makes sense. And then, okay, I have to change you. Load preset orange. Okay. Better idea. Better idea. I don't know if that's much better, but in my head it looks fine at least. In fact, what I might even try and do, just seeing how this is going to look. Again, I'm not an expert in this game. I've only got 3,000 hours. If I was to try and do this, yeah, I prefer the way that looks. Sure. The spiders as well, like those radioactive spiders, the ones that just fly and land on you and then just do you. I hate being done by the spiders in this game. They are absolutely painful. Oh well. You also play without mob aggression. I mean, I don't mind the mobs. It's just I'd rather just focus on the game itself without being too concerned about being mauled to death by a spitter or something. In fact, here's a question for the chat. What is your least favorite hostile in the game? This might be a controversial one, but those little bug things, the ones that fly around that I can never remember the name of. Literally none of them. So it's the other one. Stingers? Splitters, hogs. The name's got Hatcher. There we go. Hatchers. Those things, oh man. Because like you'll be there minding your own business. You're trying to get a bug, then you hear bung, zzz, and then before you know it, you're being stung by about 26 million of those bugs and you're dead. Anyway. Although saying that, you can just crouch and then just destroy their nest and then they won't attack you because you're silenced, and that's pretty cool, but yeah. Is there anything else I want to do in the back of here? I don't think so. Because this is going to be a rather large logistics floor. Very large, very spacious. And the only thing that I'm actually going to have here is my coal. And I feel like it's almost a bit of a waste. I could add batteries here. I haven't unlocked batteries, have I? No, okay. Well, I won't do that then, that's fine. Although something that I do want to try and do is this. I want you just to go straight up. Or not? Please. I can't seem to half nudge that either. That's mildly infuriating, but what if I was to do this? And this really is going out of my way here. But it could be a bit better. There we go, okay. We'll take that. Same thing there with you. Oh, you absolute... It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's all good. How about that? Are you now going to work as well? Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, then what I'm going to do is actually then remove... Do I want to remove all of you? In fact, I'm wondering now. I've got an idea, which I know, very dangerous. If I was to add you here, I've actually never... Okay, doesn't matter. I was going to say I've never used that before, and I guess today won't be the first time I'm using it. 120 water, not coal. Yeah, so how much coal would it be then? I think it's like 13... Is it 14, maybe? Oh, that was a good jump. Bloody hell. It still says 15, even though it's not 15. So the cord would normally be 15. But now I'm only using 89%. I think it's 13.333 because 3 of them is almost 40, right? Yep, so it's pretty much 40 cord per minute, not 120. Not too bad. But it is 120 water. Get on top of there, lovely. Nice. You're doing good. You want to hear a useless fact? Yes. Did you know that you can power 3,750 megawatts with 550 leaves per minute? I didn't know that. With sloops and slug. Oh, right. That's actually not too bad. I mean, do I want to be collecting 450 leaves per minute? No. But it's still pretty interesting, though. How much that you can push this game to its limits. Okay, I then want you to go over there. I then want you to go over here as well. Now, you aren't quite lined up with that, and that's completely fine. That is intentional. How do I do this next part? I want you to come up here, essentially. In fact, I know exactly how I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab you, and make sure you're placed in the right area. Okay, that is so far off of our blueprint designer, it might as well be in France. I don't know why it's done that. I'll do this instead. That's better. And now we grab you. And, why can't things just be straight? Is it too much to ask? Okay, that's fine. Apparently the answer is yes, it is too much to ask. If I was to line you up there, now you should be straight. Okay. That's all good. Again, very minor things that we're doing here, but I believe will make the factory look quite nice. For the 0 times I'm ever going to end up walking here. Yeah, press control, so eventually you're like this. Have your Xeno Basher, have your Xeno Zapper. I believe if you were to use a rifle, or obviously explosives, or the rebar gun, and you were to shoot them, even if you were crouched, they are going to react, because obviously they've just been shot. I think I would probably react if I just got shot as well. So, do take note of that. But overall, yeah, it's a pretty interesting thing to do. There we go, nice. What I'm also going to try and do now is honestly just keep you there. And can I do this? That's what I was afraid of. So, I mean, that design looks nice. I feel like it makes sense to have it like that. But at the same time, I can't, because then I can't connect the power. So, let's just not do that. So, we're going to leave it like that. That's completely fine. And I feel like the back of this blueprint's kind of just done. I don't know what else to do with it, really. I suppose I want to try and lower down this area, though, to be fair. So what we're going to do, I'm going to extend you out by... No, I'm not. I'm going to do this. Because it doesn't need to be this tall. It really doesn't. So we're going to do that. Then you're not going to do that. There we go. A half nudge inwards there. You should be right on the outside. You are perfect. You lined up? You are lined up. Okay, good. So that's what the inside of this building is going to end up looking like. Although something else I do want to try and add. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. But I want to try and add this. Just to the end of this. There we go. And that shouldn't stick out from there. Although, might as well double check. Lovely. Okay, you look like a bit of a nightmare, but don't we all? So that's completely fine. Do I want to add any more of these pillars? Honestly, no, not really. Like, that's fine there. That's all good. Okay, I promise that is the very fine... Don't make promises I can't keep. Because I want to try and add one more thing here. And I promise this will be quick. It's a new 1.1 item, and I want to try and use it. So we'll grab you, and I'll just do something like this. It's a very minor design. This shouldn't even count as a design, it's so basic. This should be like a human right, honestly, adding designs to Satisfactory. Someone tell the UN I want to try and create a new human right. There we go. I think that's how it works. Who even decides anymore? Okay, so I do quite like that now. I don't want to do any more work around the back. Well, not up there at least. Down here I do. And this will be a very, very quick detail here. Because I want to try and have another blueprint at the edge, or essentially here, which is going to contain like a little pathway around the back. And I think it should end up looking pretty good. Yeah, no, what I'm... Okay. What I meant by saying it can't be too straight is the power, okay? I'm talking about the power poles. Are you lined up? No. I want you to be lined up with here, essentially. Yeah, nice. So now you're going to go straight up. So we'll go up by... I'll say that much, then... a couple more. Perfect. Okay. How about that? No, you've got to be inwards by one more. Yes. There we go. Lovely. Come on, I know you want to snap, thank you. Because if you don't snap, I will. And when I'm angry, I don't know. I'll say, gosh darn it, at the top of my voice. If that isn't a threat, I don't know what is. Right, so because you're on the very edge, unfortunately, it means that you're going to be relatively annoying. What I can do, though, is this, and then that. Love that. You don't have to be that deep. Lovely. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. We'll then add a... Ooh, what shall we add in here? So much room for possibilities. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be very creative. I'm going to add a big concrete pillar. I know. I'm really showing my creativity today, guys. This really is a Valhalla and Pickle special. Color-wise, am I happy with you? I think that's actually a perfect color. I do. As long as I paint you with the glare. There we go. Actually, are you grey or black? I don't actually know what you are, if I'm honest. I mean, that's the color I kind of wanted it to be, so I will paint over that. There we go. Yeah, I've got to be a bit quicker because Ada's going to start complaining. I've actually noticed that, by the way. Like, sometimes when you die, Ada says, like, essentially that you're useless, which is pretty cool. I mean, I already know that, but it's nice to have Ada just confirm it. I find that quite funny, though. I wouldn't be surprised if people find that offensive, though. Like, how dare you say I'm useless at this game? I have decided to become offended. Okay. Let's just nudge you into place. I do want to try and pick up the speed here a little bit, because otherwise I generally will not be done with this today, and I want to try and get this done. Luckily, I've actually designed one of the bigger blueprints I wanted to try and do. I did that off camera. I won't say again what it is, it's a spoiler. It's for my water extractors. There we go, okay. That took me, I think, 2.5 hours in total, so I'm glad that I didn't stream that, because we would still be live if I was to stream it. Max, let me just try something here. I want to try and keep that there. I'm happy with that design, except I just want to try and nudge you. Here. No, feck me. There we go. I like that. It's basic, but it's got everything that I need. It's got everything that I want. So you're right on the edge. I've now just going to copy and paste you somewhere over here in the exact same location. We'll go up by 3, then down by 1, I think is what I want to try and do here. How have you gone so far up? There we go. And then what I'm going to do here, the very final, I keep saying very final, one of the final things I want to try and do in the back here is, where is it? Architecture. Do I want to try and do a couple of these beams? That's the question on everyone's minds, I'm sure. I feel like these things are going to have quite a nice look in some part of the factory. I just don't know where. Here. A bit darker though. Can I make you potentially just black? That's not black. My eyesight isn't fantastic, but I can tell it wasn't black. Yeah. Maybe a bit in between. This is what I mean. A bit in between that and the grey. Perfect. See, it's the small things. It really is the small things in life. There we go. Ada flirting with an alien? Did Ada actually say that? I'm sure there's some sort of like wiki page that's dedicated to all of Ada's voice lines, isn't there? There must be. There's like a Wikipedia page for everything in this game. It's almost concerning. In fact, it would have been concerning if I didn't find it as helpful as it is, because it is rather helpful. Okay, so we'll have you guys up there. Nudge you across. That's the wrong button. And nudge you back across over there as well. Yeah, I think I like that. No, I don't. So we'll get rid of that. And that. So, I think this blueprint's done. I can't imagine that there's too much more I want to add to this thing. Are you lined up properly? I can see a very slight gap there, so I guess the answer is no. What I'm going to end up doing is just remove that for a quick second. And get you. And essentially just place you up here. There we go. Maybe even have you come down by 1. How's that going to look? I like that. Very small thing, but I like it. I think that's all I want to do from this side. Maybe even add like a couple of those on and off switches. That could be quite nice. Or, well, visual on and off switches. They don't actually do anything. But let's see. Is there anything else I could add in between this gap here? I could go for like a frame, but no, I'd rather not. I'm thinking like some sort of sign could be interesting down there. Oh, there is a page for it. Grab the champagne bottle and smash it against the blueprint. If I didn't continuously edit this blueprint, I probably would, but I'm probably going to end up changing it in 2 minutes' time. Okay, that's fine. Let's make sure everything here is what I need it to be, which it is. I think that's this blueprint now done. I just want to make sure that I can copy and paste it again, make sure it's all fine. I'll then check the back, place down a few of these blueprints next to each other, and then, yeah, that's pretty good going, if you ask me. Is that where I want you to be? I think so. Yeah, so it has to be yellow. Okay, nice. Good to know. So there. Right. Well, let's check the back. check the rear. And there is a pretty big gap here, isn't there? Yes, let's try not to fall down that. Because that would be pretty bad. If I fall down there, it doesn't mean anything too bad. It just means that I die. So, let's try not to. Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah. Sound. There's one thing I'm going to change, but that's nothing to do with this blueprint, though. You're sticking out. You're still sticking out, because I didn't change the other side, I don't think. So let's change the other side, and then we should be good here. In fact, do I want you to stick out? Yes. I actually think I do. Okay, right. That's interesting. So again, the exact same thing that I've added towards the very front of this blueprint, where I got this wall here, and I jutted it out a little bit. Essentially, I want to do the exact same thing, but from the other side. That way, again, when you're walking next to it, it doesn't all look the exact same. It almost splits it into very tiny chunks, which makes it just visually look a bit better, and also makes it look a bit bigger as well. So I do definitely want to try and do that. So I'll grab you, and essentially just push you out by one. Is that it? I honestly think it's as simple as that. Although I could go out by one more, but I don't know if I want to. Let's see. I'll zone that there for now. If I don't like it, just change it, right? A very simple solution to a very simple answer. Question even. Which is a good change, because mostly in life, sometimes the simplest of questions require the most difficult of answers. So it's nice that this one's nice and simple. There we go, then chuck you on top there as well. I'm not going to check to see if that looks nice. I assume it just will look nice. So that's got a bit of a risk there, but the risk I'm willing to take. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. As Lord Farquaad would say. Okay, why can't I place you down there? But I could place that one down. It's the exact same space. What do you mean? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, that's weird. Okay, so if I... If I was to lower you down... There? Move you a bit to the side? No, okay. I apparently just can't do that one. I think I know why, because you're slightly actually out of the box. Right, okay. That's annoying. Whereas the other one, I don't think that was out of the box. That's probably the main difference there. After the designer, should I say. Now, you're right on the edge. You're still not. There we go. You, again, you're right on the edge there. And there as well. Okay, so that might have been the problem. It wasn't lined up fully. Whereas now it should be. Okay, that's good for me. Then one more. There we go. We're out of steel beams. Cool. Luckily, I've actually managed to get a few more steel beams over here now, so that's not too bad. The only question is, where did I put them? I know I put them somewhere, I just don't know where. Whoops. What can I say? Oh, they're right there. I've only got 188? Oh dear. Okay, that's not really enough, but that's my fault for using so many of them. I should have had thousands here. But again, I've kind of just ended up using quite a lot of them. What I've got to try and do now is just grab you from up there, a bit higher up. There we go. Okay, great. Have I got a Discord? No, I probably won't be making a Discord. I am very, very rarely active on Discord. It's just it's an app that I don't use. So, yeah. Okay, you're done now. I feel like if I was ever going to make some sort of like, that was close, some sort of like community app, it would be an app that I'm on, which as of right now is nothing other than YouTube or LinkedIn. But I'm not making a LinkedIn group for obvious reasons. Okay, so that's all fine now. Again, from the front, nothing should have changed there. I wasn't really editing the front. From the rear, though, we did change the rear a little bit. Okay, I know what I've done. Right. I don't like that massive gap there in the middle. I can see what I was trying to do with it. But yeah, that gap in the middle is going to be very, very annoying. And unfortunately, I don't think there's much I can do about that, I don't think. Oh, hi, Moth. Let's see what we can do. If I was to only have one of these still things here in the middle like that, how would it look? Again, it just looks a bit weird. Like, it's very out of place. I actually don't know what to do there, then. Because I was sort of hoping that would just work, but clearly it hasn't. I suppose what I could try, and I have no idea if this is even going to work, but it's to plop down this thing. How far out can you go? You can actually go out to here. Okay. Okay. Let me try this for the sake of science. Because if this works, it kind of answers the question that I had. We'll get rid of that. Get rid of that there as well. And I suppose we'll get rid of that. There's no reason for it to be that. Save that. So as of right now, I think there's only... Well, this blueprint I've got to edit. There's one more blueprint that I want to try and add behind this blueprint, which should be a very minor one, just like a very small pathway, essentially, just like a maintenance pathway. Then readjust this blueprint with a door going into the maintenance pathway. And that should be everything done for these blueprints. Which is fantastic. And it only took us 3 hours. Although, how long was I live yesterday? Was it 2.5 hours? Sure. I was actually expecting yesterday's stream to be quite a quiet stream. I wasn't expecting it to be as busy as it was. That was pretty cool to see the amount of people that turned up in the end. I think it was like 300 people. Damn. My keyboard's going all funny again. And why are you snapping to... What? There we go. I think that's right. Yep, lovely. We'll then do one more over here. And the reason as to why I'm adding 2 blueprints next to each other is just to make sure that everything does indeed line up fine. And it looks like it is as well, which is fantastic. Right, so what are we saying now? That's a bit better. I like that. We'll keep it. If I want to make any sort of adjustments a bit later on, I can. But as of right now, I'm pretty happy with that. We'll keep it. Right, the next stage now, and this should be the somewhat easiest part of today's stream. Let's just make a mental note of the timestamp of the stream as of right now. 1 hour and 1 hour and 53 seconds, yeah. And the reason as to why I've made a mental note of that is because I've just said this is going to be the easiest part of the stream. I can almost guarantee that now something's going to go wrong, which is normally what happens when I make such silly claims. How many blueprints have I got for this now? I'm going to call this essentially 2.5. I've never done a 0.5 ever, I don't think, but there we go. We're going to remove that. You can stay, you have to go. You are all going to go. Not sure about that one. Keep you there for now. Oh, that's going to be quite annoying. Oh well. Yep, you'll then come out here to the back. If I didn't fall, that would have massively helped. Are you sticking out there? Better. Oh, step call generator, I'm stuck. There we go. No one heard that. So let's try and get back up over there again. Because the idea for this, like at least the idea for it is very, very basic. Yeah, that looks good. So we're going to come down there. We'll have this. I suppose we can keep it open. If I could have made this a bit shorter, I would have, but I don't really want to. There we go. No one saw that. And the next thing I want to try and do is build you right there. Oh, you're not lined up properly, you little... I guess now we'll just line up properly. There we go. That looks good to me. So you're going to go up by that much. I don't want you to go up by that much though as well. So I'll do something like that. There we go. And then when it comes to this, if I was to remove that there for just a second, that will have a very small impact on that. But luckily, all I've got to do is just that. There we go. Now, why are you... I fell down again. Why are you a slightly different color? I think because I painted that one in black and not grey. That's a simple fix. There we go, that's a lot better. And then here, I suppose we could try and add a window, which is in walls. There we go. I knew where that was. Yep, absolutely. Yep. There we go. Unfortunately, this is just going to be there. It's quite annoying, and that overlaps there as well. Okay, what I might even do here instead then is... that. I quite like that. I think it looks rather decent, in fact. I'm going to try and move you guys there a little bit as well. In fact, I've got to do that right now. What are you even, like, there for? Oh, right. You're not lined up with that? Yeah, you are. But how come you're jutting a lot more than the other one, then, when you're lined up in the exact same spot? Let's try and fix that. It's a small fix, but it should go a long way. So if this wall like glitches through the pillar, it's going to look a bit weird. I think I might know why it's doing that. Is it because of that? Then you're going to have to go anywhere. That's completely fine. Yep. Come on. I know you want to face the right way. Thank you. And then there we go. I suppose this is where the next part's going to actually begin. Which is rather exciting. Get rid of that. That's going to Z snap. That's completely fine though. We can get rid of this. And instead what we can do is grab that. There we go. Yes. And go up by 3. We'll take it. We'll definitely take it. Now, I can most likely fit in the wall here now, which is great. You sort of go into there by about a nudge. Do I want it to do that? Not particularly. No. It's only a very tiny nudge though. It won't make a massive difference. Except to me. To my eyes. Unfortunately. And you're technically fine. Come on, there we go. We'll grab that. We'll have to place you down there. And nudge all of it again. Fantastic. That's quite a nice little corridor created now. And just as a very tiny addition, can I potentially add you into here? Yes. No. Yes. Okay, good. Very good, in fact. Now, none of you should be massively overlapping, except for one of you is. I know why it's doing that, I just don't really want it to. You're fine. Okay, that's what I'm going to do then. There we go. So we'll get rid of all of that. Then make sure that you're definitely even. Which now you are. Although, that's why I half nudged it back there a little bit. Makes sense. And then same with you. That's what I was going to do actually, wasn't it? I was going to like half nudge you back. Which we can do. No dramas there, luckily. Patterns-wise, I'm not going to go with anything here just yet. There is a pattern I do want, but I haven't gotten it, and I don't want to spend a bunch of coupons on it, because I've got much better things to be spending coupons on at this stage of the game. Now you need to go back by half a foundation, and then you need to be double nudged there on that side. You're not even facing the right way. There we go. It'd be a miracle if that actually lines up properly, but regardless, this part's now done. You're a slightly different color. Yeah, everything's a slightly different color in here. It's so weird. Because this should be, like, dark. Maybe because it's shiny. That's the difference. So it was black, but I've made this part here shiny. That's why it's ending up looking quite weird. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy that we managed to spot what was wrong with that. That's quite good. Change you, I suppose? Yep. Okay. Pretty big change there, but I feel like it's going to work out quite nicely for us. Yeah, talking a little bit more, though, about Satisfactory Console Edition. We still haven't really got too much news about it. Like I say, if we do get any news about it, I'll most certainly make a video talking a bit about it. My expectations. Is it going to be difficult, potentially? All these questions. Okay, so this is going to be 4 foundationed up. Right. Get rid of that. So now let's essentially work on the... Fantastic jump. Now let's essentially work on the bits behind here, which shouldn't be too difficult to do very quickly, in fact. Customizer. Patterns. Cool. Get rid of that. We can add patterns here, because what I was doing wrong there is I had a half foundation, and you can't add patterns on a half foundation area. So what I'm going to do instead is just add a full foundation, then just go back to what I was doing. Bloody hell. There we go. Nice. Customizer. What you could just do is press, I think it's X for the customizer button. Yeah, I'm just so used to pressing C though. And paints you to that. Lovely. So we'll save that blueprint. Would you Control C? And then we'll call the next blueprint 006. Okay. 006. Add an our generator. And then luckily we've already got a preset for cold. We just load that in, and there we go. Except I can't save that because I haven't got anything on here. That's annoying. Oh, it reset everything. Fun. Changes have been made to the information in this blueprint. That's fine. Right? I don't see what was wrong there. I mean, yep, everything's fine. Okay. So we want to try and go up by about 4 foundations, and this should only require, like, 1 area here for this. So, like, 1 foundation slot, essentially. And zoop you over, like so. We're actually out of concrete. Damn. We are using a lot of resources today, like, a lot of resources, which is fine. I don't mind that. In fact, no, don't click that. What I'm going to click instead is... Where is it? You. There we go. Wow, we are missing tons of resources. Let's just go and fill up on everything. And I don't know how we're missing out on so much. Oh well. These things happen. Suppose I can get that. I shouldn't need that, actually. Make sure I've got a full stack of that. Wire should be completely fine. Need more of you lots. Don't need as much of you. Don't need anywhere near as much as you. That's surprising. Okay, I think that's everything from there. Nope. Nope. No. And... Is that the exact same as that? No, okay, I pressed the wrong one. Cool. So now we just need some more cable. We need concrete steel beams. I'm not making my steel beams here. Spoiler, I'm making steel beams. Concrete? We should have tons of concrete. I've been continuously emptying our concrete into our... Holy moly. Wait, if that's all of our concrete, how many rotors have I got? Damn. Okay, I've got to empty that when the stream ends. Because essentially, like, every couple hours off camera, I'm literally emptying all of our reinforced iron plates, modular frames, rotors, and other bits and pieces, wire, cable, all into our awesome sinks. Where we've been able to get a pretty decent amount of items. I wouldn't mind a bit more, but it's pretty good. You finally figured out about the color theme, by the way, and you're getting an inspiration... an interesting box going on for now. Oh, nice. Yeah, trying to get a color scheme for a factory is... It's fun. It can be fun. It can be not stressful. I mean, if you get stressful from that, I recommend not playing the game if the color scheme stresses you out. But it can be a challenge. Because it's what you're going to be like visually seeing for the next God knows how long. So you need to make it look at least somewhat decent. I've got so much rubbish everywhere. I will sort this out one day. But the thing is, I've just got so many other things to do in this playthrough that sorting out my storage room is so far down on my priority list. It's not even on the list. I'll get rid of that for now, sure. Have I got any more? I only got 8 circuit boards. I'm going to need quite a lot more than just 8. You went for black, silver, red. That's a good idea. And then the grey from the concrete, which you made a tiny bit darker. Oh, nice. Sounds good. I know that Kibitz likes his red factories. There we go. That's all good. So that should be plenty resources now for what I want to try and do today. And essentially, the whole plan is, like, the main goal of today's live stream is by the end of it, I want to have, like, a mini version of my core factory. Just to make sure that everything's fine, like, my logistic floors are fine. It looks visually fine. I keep using the word fine. But yeah, that's the plan. And I think it should be decent. It should be fine. It should be alright. So I want you to remain there. I don't want to have anything underneath here because it's fantastic room for logistics. Who's that? Who's Kibitz? I would say the biggest Satisfactory content creator. He makes really good content. Lots of crazy projects. And his videos are better than... Well, I think almost... Until every Satisfactory video is better than mine because of the way I do my videos. It's... I don't know. It's a weird style, but I quite like it. So you should be the right level at least. You're 4 high. Then you are 4 high. Wow, I can do height, everybody. I can do height. I'll zoop you along there when I can. The next problem is... I need to do this. Do I... Yeah, I need to... Because the thing is, if I don't do that, it's going to mean that I'm going to have, like, weird gaps underneath here. And I think I'm still going to have those gaps, but at least here it hides it a bit better. So I'm fine with that, I think, now. We'll see how that's going to end up looking. So... yeah, we're going to have to make 2 blueprints for this. The first one, and I promise you, this is going to be the easiest blueprint I make of the day. It's going to be... what's it going to be? Low barriers. There. There. And I think that's it. I don't see why I need anything else below here. I mean, for looks, I could add something below there. But it does what I need it to do. Ceiling-wise, I suppose let's talk a bit more about that. How high do you need to be? That's really annoying. Let me just get rid of that. That's 10. Is that 14? 15. Okay. 15. Editing in general style clicks more with me though. Oh, nice. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a bit of fun, I suppose, isn't it? It has to be, though. If you don't have fun doing it, what's the point? So I think I'll just go up vertically by that much. And that's our roof. I know, extremely complex, but it's going to get the job done, so that's all we need it to do. I suppose I can try and add my artistic flair to it. And what I'll do is, I'll grab you, go one off there to the side. Out by 32. And do the exact same thing. Why was that blue there for a second? That looks awful. Then do that. Then what I'm going to do is go into my organization. And do this. That is right. I have come up with the genius idea of adding signs. Even though I didn't paint them correctly or color them correctly. Setting copied. I like that. Get rid of that. Let's place it back in again. What a fantastic system I've got here. Would have been easier just to build it properly, but nah. Boring. There we go. Wow, who would have thought lighting actually helps? What? This is fake news of the highest order. One. Then just chuck you over there. Fantastic. So that's the roof bit now done as well. That's great. I suppose what I can do here is this. Have you go along there, and have you go along there. And is that it? I suppose let's just test it out. So we'll save you as 006. And then we'll add a 006.5 in just a minute, if this works. That's okay, C-Shark, don't worry about it. That's all good then. So, blueprints, 006. You should snap to here. And I think that's the right level. So that's good, that helps. Is the roof on the right spot? Yeah, so you should be dangling over by one there. Perfect. I mean, look at that. It's such a small detail there. But I think it ends up looking pretty decent. Now, the next thing I want to try and double check is that little door that we made a bit earlier on. I want to zone that into there. And then hopefully, everything should look pretty decent. Let's get rid of you. That create a... I knew it. I was going to say, did it create some sort of like storage box there? It did. Whoops. Oh well. $2.5. Lovely. Perfect. So very first thing to double check, are you lined up properly? No. You've actually got to come over by one. Okay, that's interesting. I suppose, yeah, that makes sense. I'm okay with that. When you look at it from this angle, you can see it a bit better. So, let's do that. Is it by that much? I think so. So, you are actually one too low, I think. You are one too low. That's okay. I'm not going to change that all over again because that would just be a long time wasted. So what I'm going to try and do instead is add you to here. We then know that after one... Oh, that's a really awkward... Oh, that's really awkward. Okay. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4 over... 4, nudge it back by 1, leave a 1 gap. Okay. Let me try and design this, and this should be a rather interesting design. Looking forward to it, though. It should be a bit of a laugh. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, make a dent in there. Grab you, pull you back there by 1. And grab our railing, obviously, because you just can't be that. Get rid of you lots. We then go 1, 2, and continue you there. Okay. Sure. I think I actually did need you to do this, although I'm not quite sure now. I'm gonna do it anyway, but that's it. Nice. And grab you. Put you in like that. And same there with you. Okay, nice. I feel like that makes sense for us to do at least. The roof I said was fine. The very final thing that I'll add for you, I think at least. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to keep these 2 low barriers there. But as of right now, it's okay. Then you're going to be 6.5, which will then connect with our 2.5. That makes it nice and easy for me just to remember. So the 0.5s go into the 0.5s, and the ones that aren't 0.5 or 0.5 then connect into each other as well. That seems basic to understand. Okay. Blueprints 6.5. Spin you around and make sure that you're lined up with this. Now, are you lined up with that? Yeah. Oh, right, because I did the other side. Right, so it would have actually been lined up, but I didn't do the right side. That's annoying. Can I can't flip that around, can I? No. How do I fix that then? So whichever side's thickest. 1, 2, 3. Then pull the pull the third one back by 1. So everything here is off by about 1 barrier. Okay, right. Fantastic gamer, by the way. Thank you guys very much. Oh, dearie me. It's okay. The idea was there, though. It's good. It was always going to be a bit on the finicky side. Get rid of you. And then you've now got to come up to here. There we go. Okay. To be fair, that didn't take too long to fix. Oh, okay. And what we're going to try and do next is grab the double beam connector. And put that over here as well. Well, why are you sticking out from there? Maybe don't do that. That's a lot better. You're actually fine, if I'm honest. There's a very small gap there, but I think it's actually completely fine. So now let's save this again. Now let's see if this is going to work. Oh, dearie me. And the good thing is, if I get all these blueprints right, which I think I have done so far, other than this, obviously. If I do get all these blueprints right, it should then mean that everything just fits together like a puzzle. Rather than having to, like, continuously adjust things. What? How is that the exact same? 1, 2, 3. How is that the exact same? Is that not what I was supposed to do? 1, 2, 3, then this one then goes in. I am confusion. One, 2, 3. So so it's 1, 2, then this one goes back by 1. Okay. Did I just do the exact same thing as before then? I might be losing my mind, not sure. Send help. So that's now fine. Hmm. Let's see. That should be good. That should be good there as well. Lovely. No, anything but that one. Let's try this again. Okay, this should be right now, because I've essentially moved everything over just by about 1 road barrier. I don't see why that should now be wrong. Unless, again, I fumbled it for the 2nd time, or 3rd time. Welcome, Final Space. There was an update. Yes, update 1.1 came out on April the 10th to experimental. Then it came out to the main game in June, towards the start of June. I think it was June 9th or June 10th. So yeah, it's been out for a while now. It's good as they added like a bunch of architectural things. This is new, that's new, that's new. Don't think that's new. And a couple other bits and pieces. Elevators, which is pretty cool. Straight pipes and a bunch of other stuff. I've made a video talking about it, and some other people made a video talking about it as well. Yeah, it's a pretty cool update. Thanks for the info, no problem. No problem at all. Okay, are you lined up now? Yes. There we go. That only took 16 hours. Oh, dearie me. June 10th, that's the one, yeah. I think I said April 10th. I meant April 1st, yeah. Okay, so the back is now fine. The front is fine. The top logistics are fine. The bottom logistics are terrible. So, so let's fix that. And the only thing I've really got to try and do here now is get rid of this floor entirely. And then change this to concrete. And that should be it. The reason why I want to get rid of this floor is because I just want to try and have a pre-made floor there already, made from concrete. So all I have to do is just place this blueprint on top, rather than leave like a massive square to then place a blueprint on top, because that's then got the foundation, but I don't really want it to do that, so I'm just going to get rid of the foundation. Yeah, that's fine now, that's all good. Load blueprints will go 001. Definitely got a few improvements to make, and I've selected the one wall I didn't want to select. Cool. It's amazing quality content. There we go, so we'll get rid of that, and change everything up here to be concrete. Even asphalt. Let's do asphalt. I do like a good bit of asphalt. There we go. Are you even connected to a power grid? No, so where am I going to connect you from then? I think what I'm actually going to end up doing is something like that. Then I'm going to save this. Cancel. Get rid of that. Welcome back, Shark. Save that. Clear blueprint designer. Blueprints. Because now the problem is this is too highly elevated. I obviously don't want it to be too highly elevated, because then it's too highly elevated. So what I'm going to try and do here now is lower it down. Yes, that actually works. Okay. Call PP001. Just stands for power plants. Or pickle plants. I'm still debating whether I call it Pickle Plant 2 or 2.0. There are no buildings in the blueprint designer. You mad? Okay, so it didn't actually save my blueprint. That's really weird. Is that a bug? No, surely that can't be a bug. Maybe I can't fix that. I mean, it's fine if I can't, but I would much rather be able to. Oh well. Let's just assume that we can't fix it. There we go. Okay, so can I not just lower this down? That's what I'm confused about. Reload? Yeah, I thought that might have been a potential problem with it. Let's just clear that for a second. Let's go back to that. I think I've had this problem before, you know. Not sure. So if I just save the game, and you're about to see how many hours I've got in this save. 83 hours. 83. I've done 3 episodes in 83 hours. It's mad. We'll exit to the main menu, then load back in. But yeah, it is pretty crazy. Have I actually talked about why I've called this Ivor the Noseless? I don't think so. Welcome, Game Blocks. Oh, it's nothing too concerning, don't worry. It's just that I want to try and lower my blueprint down, so I saved the blueprint, got rid of the foundation that was below there, and then tried to lower it down, and then it just didn't save properly. But it is still in the game, it just didn't work. Apparently it's a bug or something. 26 hours per episode. Well, the funny thing is, the first episode was maybe like 2 hours worth of content, maybe 3 hours. The second episode was a bit more, but then episode 5, which I'm currently recording, has maybe consisted of like 13 hours, 14 hours so far. I'm not done yet. It still says no cost. It doesn't matter, it's fine. It does what I need it to do anyway. So now what I'm actually going to do is get rid of everything that I've made here. That was a dumb move there by me. But yeah, get rid of everything I've done. And essentially, I'm now going to try and build like a small trial area for my cold power plant. And this is what I'm going to want it to look like. Now, I'm not actually going to be building this cold power plant until episode 5, which for me is going to be in about half an hour from now, but for you guys, it's next week. Crazy how time works like that, but that's what happens when you edit videos in a very weird way. New Steam account last week. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of time. It is. I think it's worth it, though. Maybe. I'm going to keep convincing myself it is, at least. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. I think I saved this. Let me just save it again, just in case. There you. And if there's any, like, minor things, I will fix it. But the reason why I want to get rid of all of this now is just so it gives me, like, a fresh canvas to work on again. So mentally, it's a bit easier to know what I'm doing. Get rid of them two. Lovely. Then get rid of this thing up here as well. It's a lot of items. It really is a lot of items. Oh, feck's sakes. Get rid of that up there as well. Can I get rid of everything here? I know that my inventory is a lot bigger since the last time I was recording here, but I didn't think that this would be able to fit everything there. I still don't think it will. Let's see. 2 inventory slots left? Surely not. Now it's all of this. Is it going to do it? Yes! Oh, well, almost. Oh, it actually did. Fair enough. And it'll place this here as well. Lovely. You plonk down an existing blueprint in one or go. Yeah. That's pretty much what I did. Yeah. So maybe I could have selected it from the designer. And lowered it down. No, because then I'll still have to redo all of it. No, it doesn't matter. So. Right. How do I want to try and plan this? Logistic floor. Let's start with the logistic floor. I want to have 2 of that. Then, no, 4 of that. 4 of this. That will be the start. Let's get all the resources that I need for this, because apparently I can't afford, like, anything. Really? Okay. Yeah, that's better. We've got quite a lot of concrete that I don't necessarily need. I will keep a couple stacks of it. Don't need any of that. I need that. I need that. I need everything. I literally need everything in my inventory. I need silica though, right? No. I need that as well. Oh my days, man. How much stuff do I need? We'll fill up that stack at least. Let's just make sure that all of our stacks are just filled to the brim. You in there as well. There we go. So now we need some cable, rotors, wire. Okay, that helps. Rotors. That helps. And then wire there. Oh, sorry, cable. Which I don't think we've got. Oh, no, we do. Missed it the first time. Okay, great. It builds from the lowest buildable. Yeah, I think that's what the problem was. So blueprints. We'll start off with you then. So you're going to be facing the direction where our water logistics is going to be. So that's completely fine. I'll then lower you down to that. That's what I was trying to do in the blueprint designer. I don't mind doing that manually though. That's completely fine. So that's where our coal generators are going to be. So I've actually got to move you over there a little bit. Wrong button. Say to about here should be fine. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you're going to be a bit further back. This blueprint's actually going to be quite thick. Like, thick. Kind of thick. So I'm wondering, is there a better place to do this? And because there's going to be trees in the way. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Move you back by a couple more foundations. There we go. Again, there are trees in the... Oh, I don't want there to be trees in the way. Okay, let's try and build this out here then, maybe. There's a bit less stuff in the way. There we go. So we'll grab that. Out by 10. Go out by... Yeah. Go out by 10. Okay. This is quite important, because like, if things here don't work, then we're kind of screwed. I'm relying on everything here to actually, like, work now. We have got no obelisks. Yes. I'm saving them. Okay, this seems like a good place to plop it down. So we'll go... 1. I think it's a 1 gap in here. See in just a sec, actually. Then you're going to go... I think I've got to try and rotate it around, actually. So this is the back, that's not the front. Okay. Right. I knew that. I was just making sure that yes. Yep. Need I say much more? No, I don't think so. So yeah, we'll chuck you back there. That's fine. Is that the right blueprint? Yes, it is. Now you're facing the right way. Obviously, again, I was just making sure that you guys were paying attention. Not because I got it wrong. Fake news. How far do I want to bring you forward? Is that how far I want it to be? I think so. I think that's okay. Because you should be in line with that, and you kind of are. There, I think that's kind of in line. Can I check around the back? I mean, I have places right next to a massive cliff. Doesn't massively help. But I think that's fine. Let's just try and place that down. We'll nudge it into position if it's not right. Which I've got a feeling it won't be right. That's perfect. We got it right. Good. Positivity. Also, get rid of that. There we go. So that's the very first part done. Next up now is the other side. But before I place down the other side, I'm going to try and place down... No. Maybe. Yes, it is this one, actually. I'm going to bring you up there a little bit. There? Yeah. And bring you down. Here. Okay, let's see how that's going to look. It would help if I got a bit more of a vantage point from up top rather than being down here constantly. Let's try and do that. And luckily, this is going to be relatively easy to know if I've got this right or wrong. Because it will stick out like a sore thumb if I've got it wrong. It's right. To be fair, it is right. So that's good. Okay. Incredible jump. Incredible stuff. Anyway, so the next thing to do now is to do this side. And to do that, we're going to do you. Where's forwards? I think it's there. There we go. So you're now lined up. You are. Fantastic. We'll then plop you into place. No, that's not going to work. Yeah, so far everything seems to be lined up rather nice. Oh, I like this little shape that we've created. I still don't know what I'm going to do for the roof. Is that evenly spaced out? It is. Yep, okay. Fantastic. It didn't look spaced out, but it is. So that's all good. Again, we'll double check this side here. I don't know if you're lined up properly. I mean, one of you isn't lined up properly. Oh well. Oh, welcome, Paris Delphina. Pari Defino, hope that you're doing well. Welcome to the live stream. I'm not doing too bad. How are you? I think that one's wrong. So then we'll select this again. Rotate you around to here. So that thing right there is at the very edge. You're not. This thing's not at the edge either. And then you, again, are not. How are both of you not placed in the right place that you guys are placed in? So not on the edge. Not on the edge. Not on the edge. Too far over. Like that. I think that's better. That looks better. So now let's repeat what we've just done, but not the logistic bit. I think that's going to be fine. Maybe I will. But now I'm going to do it with this. Wait, we're missing silica? Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Let's get some silica then. So it looks like our logistic floor is actually going to be rather massive, which is kind of what I wanted it to be, so that's quite nice. Why are you there? Oh yeah, I know why you're there. Nice stream, thank you very much. I'm glad that you like it. Should be live for at least a few more minutes. I'm going to try and get this done. We can end on a high note. There's our silica. And whilst we're here, is there anything else that we're going to need? So, logistic floors, we're going to need 2 more of them. 2 more of that, that's fine there as well. At least 1 of you. And then the bit around the back is that, isn't it? What's that? I know what that is. I'm not... No, you guys didn't see that. There we go. That's everything that I'm going to need. So let's just get the remainders of it then. It's so difficult to, like, not spoil stuff. Because it's so easy to do, because I obviously don't really want to do it. Okay. So, the next thing that I want to try and do now is make sure that I've got you underneath here. Yep, that seems about right. You lined up with this? No. Now you are. But now I think you're too far forwards. Like that. From the back. That looks good. Okay. So we'll chuck that down. We'll then get 2 more of these placed down over here as well. We'll go 1. And then we'll go 2. Lovely. We'll then select now this thing. The 2.5. I think that's the right way. I keep saying I think because it's very difficult to actually see it. But I believe it is right. And then we'll go with this. So realistically, this right here would be the foundation of the logistics floor. And look at all of this room that we've got to work with. All that I've got to manually do is that. Although preferably not like that though. It would be like... Where is it? This. Even that doesn't look great. We'll figure that out. Might have to change a few things there as well. Then you would then have to connect to the power grid. I've got to do that manually there as well. Is that going to be simple to do? Where am I from? Well, I live in the UK. Lived here most of my life. Hence the weird accents. So yeah, I want you to actually connect around the back there. Okay. Because you connect up. So I think what I'm going to have to do then is maybe bring like one of you down like that. And there. And connect you into there. Again, that will definitely be something I tackle off camera. Looking forward to. I'm not really too much. Hopefully starting university, which should be rather exciting. Other than that, yeah, not really too much. Oh yeah, one other thing I want to try and do is try and design a path that goes from up here down to there, which should literally just consist of... Let's see. That going to here. Oh, there's actually a very small gap there. That's potentially fine, actually. I don't know if this actually is fine, but let's see. Yeah, I mean... Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay. The player is in the way. That's not too bad. That's alright. We can make that work. Yep. Bit of manual care about that. That should all be good there as well. So that will be completely fine. You then come down over here. This is then... Ooh. Yeah, I like that glass. You can barely even see it because of the way the light's reflecting off it, but it's all good. We then get this. Should attach to this blueprint. It does. Like this. Okay. And that goes over here then as well. And you line up perfectly. Fantastic. The roof is looking pretty good there as well. Then essentially what we're then going to do on this side is just continue this. So then our core generators will then be facing the other side. So we'll do something like... I haven't got the items, but you guys are able to probably work out what we're going to try and do. And this should be like a really cool little like personnel highway through here, I suppose. I think we'll end up looking great. I like that. And on the other side, we do that exact same path that I've just done. And I think that's honestly... That's the design done. The roof wires, I still don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. Could just go for a glass roof, maybe. Yeah. We'll think of something, but regardless, I'm very happy with that. Try and get some cinematic shots, maybe. It's always the roof, isn't it? Yeah, it's annoying. I don't know what to do with the roof. I think I talked about this in a video a while ago. Maybe even my last coal power plant video. But even like games like Minecraft or The Sims, even way back in the day when I used to play Sims, I could never ever design the roof properly. And I don't know why. Can't do it. The only thing that I've got to try and change now is to get those markings in front of us, the blue and black stripes, to line up properly because they're currently not lining up, which is quite annoying. I've then got to try and edit the main pathway that I'm on right now to have those stairs. That way it will be a lot easier just to connect to the other blueprints, so that would be quite easy to try and do. Yeah, if it's too flat, it's boring, isn't it? It's trying to find that balance of making it look good, whilst also not making it look crap. I do struggle with that balance. But I think this factory will come to life a bit more when we have got the coal coming down from those conveyor belts there on the left side and the right side. I think the lights are fine. I haven't gone too over the top there with the lights. The actual design is a bit brutalist, but I think it's okay. Welcome to Best Harrison. Hope that you're doing good, man. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you joining us today. And then yeah, this just continues essentially. I'm wondering though, what if I get this and do something like that? How would this look? Have some lights on the ceiling potentially? And by lights I mean like actual lights, not signs. Have that come in like that. There we go. And maybe even remove this. Then replace you with... say that. I like that. And the thing is, if I was to put a light there, how am I going to do the power to that? Also, I haven't got any lights, have I? I haven't even purchased lights yet, so let's just ignore that then. If I was to go with signs, I could put signs up there. Yeah, we'll see what that's going to end up looking like. But I think that's a pretty good roof design. I mean, that took me, what, 10 seconds to do? 20 seconds? You want all the streams? Oh, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, the streams have been receiving a lot of support recently. I don't know why. But, it's nice. Yeah, what do you guys think? What should I add? Because the reason why I do these streams is to get your input as well. Like, I don't just want to be here and be like, this is what I'm doing, watch me do it. It's more like, this is what I'm doing, what do you guys think? Should I change this? Should I add this? I want it to be like a community-driven playthrough. Of course, I'll be doing the majority of the designs. In fact, all of the designs, but it would be nice to have input as well. So I won't be going on to like the workshop and just downloading a bunch of your mods or a bunch of your blueprints, because I feel like that's almost cheating. But having your say on the blueprints that we make, I feel like that's quite nice. You've been binge watching my content. Thank you very much, man. That's very kind of you. I've been really enjoying making the videos recently as well. There's not been a single video I've released on the channel that I haven't enjoyed making. And that's why I'm enjoying making them so much. The algorithm might be pushing your alt recipe videos. Yeah, I think they are, because not many people do videos like that. Like, you will find videos that are like the best early game recipes, best mid game recipes, but I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, please do correct me if I'm wrong, like, good jump, but I don't think a content creator's broken down every recipe in the game and analyzed all the other alternate recipes. I don't think that's happened yet. So maybe that's why the videos get recommended, because it's something a bit different. You started the game and you've been looking for like everything on your channel. Oh, right, yeah, so if you have just started the game, then yeah, the content will be relatively useful. I do cover quite a lot of like early game stuff, so yeah, it should be useful. I suppose one thing that I do want to try and do, I suppose, is try and design this bridge over here. So how do I do that then? Is it exactly 2 of these across? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That seems rather basic. Let's just try and give this a shot. Not the way you have. Oh, okay. So that's probably why then. Yeah, it's pretty cool. No, don't. There we go. Also, I won't be here from the 3rd of July to the 14th, I don't think. Just to let you guys know now. I have to do a course. And by the time I get back, I'll be mentally drained, but I should be able to then start doing streams again. Because the problem is, like you guys have already seen, some of these videos are taking me like 20 hours to make. So it's difficult to pump out a video every couple of days because I'm just mentally exhausted. Like, for example, today I think I've played Satisfactory for about like 8 or 9 hours. Like, both streaming and recording content. And it does get to a stage where mentally my brain's like, yeah, stop. You're enjoying it, mate, but stop. I do. Because it's also very important to look after yourself as well. Like I do. I touch grass occasionally. Have I got Discord? No. I probably won't be making a Discord if I'm honest with you. It's just an app that I don't particularly use that much, that's why. Right, so actually something else I very quickly want to double check that actually is very important. There we go. Do these 2 doors line up? Because I assume they don't, do they? So you're directly here. Then you're... Oh, you do line up. Actually, I suppose that makes sense. Oh, wow. That's cool. Although I have to get rid of that though, unfortunately. I think I can replace you with this. Which I'm fine with, I think. We'll see. Twice in a row. I mean, to be fair, a lot of people do ask, have I got a Discord? Because it's one of those apps that just everyone has now. Except me, clearly. I don't know, maybe one day, like, if people really want me to make a Discord, I will. Also, thank you very much, by the way, everyone, for all the support on the videos recently. We are less than 20 subscribers away from 9,000. How? How have we managed to do that? That's incorrect. That's Ukraine? That's insane. Guys, that's absolutely Ukraine. Oh, dearie me. Okay, can I go up with that? I can. Too far? That's better. Yep. Yeah, so I can't put you all the way through there, unfortunately. That's okay. Maybe on this blueprint I can do that, though. So the pieces just connect, essentially. Again, like a puzzle. I keep talking about the puzzle because it is. Satisfactory and blueprints, especially in Satisfactory, are a puzzle. And that doesn't really pop through the floor too much. So that doesn't interfere with our logistics. Or does it? Because there should be something there. Right? No, there won't be. No, that's completely fine then. Okay. So yeah, you don't actually count for that. Okay. That's completely fine, actually. Yep. Great. I've just realized, okay. So the way that I've planned everything is that I need to have 3 water extractors here. But because I've now removed one of those water extractors in replacement of the path, the other 2 coal generators now need to produce 50% more items per minute, or power, or consume 50% more items per minute, to keep up with the demand that I'm feeding it. Which means that I'm most likely going to have to use some power shards here. So as of right now, you're... Yeah. That was on 40. It's going to be 120 in total, which means that you then have to go up to 60 per minute. So yeah, I'm going to have to at least add in 1 power shard to that blueprint, 2 power shards to that blueprint, 1 for each coal generator. Okay, that's a very minor thing though. Again, I'll definitely improve that off camera. As of right now, I'll grab you. You know what? I'm actually going to try and do this. We'll go into walls. We'll go onto that. Keep the theme running. I love to have a theme. Then do that. Then grab... No, I knew that was going to happen. That. Lovely. Oh, we're only 10 subscribers away now. Oh, damn. Thank you very much, everyone. Very kind. So, after we do that, I do want to try and paint you the right color. Which is not that. Like, fantastic content. Lovely. How many times have I painted that the wrong color today? At least twice. In fact, I could probably then get rid of you. Save me 4 concrete and 4 iron rods. That's gigantic. That's huge. So I want to try and confirm that. Like so. Because I want to try and do that on the other side as well. Have I got enough room to do that? I think I should. Yeah, it's a life-changing amount of resources. I mean, it's huge. We are never going to see anything like that ever again. I knew I was missing something. There we go. It's extraordinary. They said we couldn't do it, but we did it. And we did it better. There we go. Then grab you. No, yes, that's correct, actually. Grab you, plop you down there. Do the same over here as well. Fantastic. And then you should automatically be painted the right color. Grand, you are. Got you in there. I think that's facing the right way. And you're definitely facing the right way. Great. So you're going to be 0.3.5. There we go. And hopefully I didn't actually save this as the wrong one. Where is it? Damn it, I've got to remove that. I've got to edit that again. Whoops. I'll do that off camera. It's okay. It's fine. It's okay. So let's remove this. And let's just see how this is going to fit. It won't fit perfectly, but it should fit fairly well. You got a lot to do off camera? I do. I've got at least another 6 hours worth, if I keep the pace going. 6 hours worth of building to do for my next episode. So, yeah, it's a lot of work that goes into these videos, but it's worth it. That's fine. There will be a gap there. I knew there would be a gap there. All I've got to do is just go into this blueprint and then just add that there, essentially. I'm then going to redo that corner. Okay, good. The only slight adjustment I'm going to make here now, and the fact that I didn't do this instantly is disturbing. Double beam connectors. How could I go, like, almost 10 minutes without using these? I've changed. I've changed a lot. This is bad stuff. There we go. We'll save that blueprint. And then again, I want to try and load in you. You don't have the piss in the rain, then call it kebab sauce. That's ridiculous. So how many resources do I need for that then? Okay, I've just got no concrete. Fair. And steel beams. Okay. Let's get some more of that stuff. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so far, like, yesterday's stream and today's stream have both been great successes. Because we've managed to do a lot of stuff. Like all the layers here as well, by the way. This is what I love when I do these builds. Like, I don't really plan much of this, but look at all the different layers we've got. We've got our main logistics floor down over there as well, which opens up to a bigger logistics floor. I've then got the inside of the actual coal generator itself, which hasn't got anything in there. We then have our back highway there for staff and personnel there, which will end up looking, I think, really good. We then have our top logistics for our coal, which again should end up looking pretty good there with our power source, which I'm very happy with how that's turned out. And it's good. We then got the roof as well, but I'm not really planning too much for that, if I'm honest. Yeah. Good stuff. Good jewels. Load that. And in theory, the only thing that I've actually got to do here is select that. Then lower you down to here. I literally think that is it. Although there was something else I was going to change, wasn't there? What was it? Was there anything around the back? There was, oh yeah, I think I was going to lower this down by 1. I think that was a very minor change, but that wasn't the major change that I was planning. Something you've started doing that you might find interesting. You paint your belts with what's on them. Yeah, I do that with my pipes. Normally, that's what I do with my pipes. So when I'm transporting water, I'll paint it blue. For this project, because I'm very rarely actually going to be seeing my pipes, I haven't bothered. Because all of this is going to be in our logistics floor. The actual player won't be seeing any of this. But the actual pipes that will be going from... Fantastic jump. From my water extractors into my coal factory will most likely be painted blue. because it's water. Heavy oil residue will be purple. Crude oil, black. So, yeah. The roof, that's what I was going to do, wasn't it? Although that's more to do with this blueprint, isn't it? Yeah. That doesn't really interact with this blueprint as per se. Although I suppose you could argue this part does, the basic wall, but even that could be added to this blueprint, so that's completely fine. I'm not too concerned about that. Anything else I just want to double check before I commit with this? That was fine, that was all fine. I think we're okay. I don't know what it was now, but if I can't think of it now, it can't be that big a problem. There we go. Also, I don't want to talk too loud because it is currently almost 10:30 in the evening. I don't know if the neighbors are asleep. They probably are. So I won't be shouting. I don't really shout anyway. Even when I'm angry, I don't shout. I get disappointed when I'm angry. I don't really get, like, ragey. Really. Ethereum, yeah. It's a good idea. Oh, moth. Hello, moth. Oh, that would be really cool, having the moth, like, fly through here. That's actually something I was planning for my 1.0 series I want to try and do for this. I want to try and design a building where the moth... Don't do that hand action. Where the moth essentially flies through the building, and we've created a little, like, glass sort of dome for it to fly through, so that it doesn't go through the building, like, as in it doesn't glitch through the wall, but there's like a little space for it to go through. I think that could end up looking quite cute. Wait, keys? What am I, 5? I think I've got the mentality of a 5-year-old, but I'm not actually 5. Shocker, I know, breaking news, I'm not 5 years old. That hasn't really worked out for us, has it? Okay, let's try that again. Oh, and you should be able to snap in here. I don't know why you're misbehaving. There we go. That should be good now. Yeah, boy. Hey, there we go. Our stairs line up perfectly. How does this look now? Perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. If I wasn't to have... No, if I wasn't to have this here... No, I prefer it. That. I'm just disappointed. I have to. I'm always disappointed. Yeah, so then I'm going to try and add that to there. It's a very simple change, though. Wait, did I not... wait. First of all, let me just fix this. A very minor thing, luckily. Okay, for the 20 millionth time, I think I'm actually done with this blueprint now. Then I want to load in 3.5. What a very simple number system I've got, right? Why don't I just name it the thing that it actually is, rather than 0.5, 0.1, 0.0? I don't know. That would be too simple. We don't do simple things around here. And whenever I do a simple thing, I try my best to overcomplicate it. Yeah. But hey, that's the best way to play this game. So, there's one more up there as well, isn't there? So in total, how high is that? It is 22. That's a song by Taylor Swift. Although I wouldn't know that, because I definitely don't listen to Taylor Swift. It feels like one of those nights. It's a song. I know it was sung like really well. Like, I know I probably sounded a bit like Taylor Swift there, actually. The only relation I've got to Taylor Swift is my dance moves. Both of us can't dance. I could try, but it would be on national like headlines within an hour. So let's not do that. For your benefit. I'm doing it for your sake. The day that I, the day that I reach my breaking points, I will make sure to do a dancing stream. But luckily, that will never happen because I hate dancing. Hate's a strong word. I just despise it with every bone in my body. Okay, there we go. Lovely. HK, nice. Fantastico. I've died. Then we'll get rid of that. And I think what I want to try and do is bring you down by 1. Bring you over there by 1. I don't know if I want to do that, but we'll try. And then we'll do essentially what we did on the other side with our roof. We don't do... Yeah, exactly. When you play Satisfactory, you don't do things in a simple way. But that's too simple. You don't do simple things. Would it make your life harder if you didn't do simple things? Yeah. Obviously. But it's Satisfactory. It's all about the grind. Oh. I didn't even make it on top of that. Cool. So now what I want to try and do here for the roof. Again, keep things nice and simple. It's the exact same design that I did on the last one. So it's going to be... there. Couldn't find that there for a minute. It was unnatural. It does, yeah. Like, if one is happy, one doesn't just bust out orange justice. Like, never in my life have I ever felt a feeling of happiness where it's got to the stage of me thinking, you know what this needs? It needs that little Pulp Fiction dance. I don't know. Not even when I finished my exams in school was I that overwhelmed with excitement. As you can tell by the sound of my voice, I'm a very exciting individual. My hobbies include doing maths for Satisfactory and watching rugby. So I'm a very exciting individual. But surprisingly, no, just no. I ain't dancing. Like, if I'm in a pub, okay, and there's someone dancing, I'll leave the pub. Because Brits don't go to the pub to have fun. They go to drown their sorrows away. Okay, so I think this is going to end up looking decent. To be fair, again, it's not like a complex design or anything. It doesn't have to be. I am out of... Is that the last one? Okay, there's 2 more. Good. If it was the last one, that would have been infuriating. But 2 more, I can handle that. We've made such a mess here. Oh my goodness. What can I say? Yeah, we need some more lights, some more quartz crystals most likely, and some more iron plates, I believe. Which should be in here. Damn it. Oh, well, we actually got our iron plates, but our quartz crystals are actually in here. I never get that right. Not because my storage system sucks. No, 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 no. Okay, maybe because of that. But, in my defense, I have no defense. Your Honor, I'm guilty. I'll be so bad in court. Oh well. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, let's just get rid of all this now. And you is what? Please, can I get... Hello? Lovely. This is a really cool looking blueprint. I don't often design things like this. There we go. Then get rid of that. Everything from here onwards. I believe I've changed the design very slightly, haven't I? You can do like a before and after comparison, because it might be better before, who knows? I don't know. I just plop things down and hope that it looks nice. Sometimes with an awful lot of planning, sometimes just by making it up as I go along. So this part here should be completely fine still. Yep, that all lines up. I haven't plopped in this new blueprint, but that's completely fine. The only difference is that I've added railings along there. Yeah, no, I like that. I prefer that. We're going to get rid of this just for now. And then essentially the roof that I've just done for this blueprint, which is very slightly to the blueprint I just got rid of, very slightly different, because that blueprint doesn't have this part. But for now, I'm just going to place it in just to make sure the roof is looking good. And then again, off camera, I can just adjust that. Another thing for me to do off camera. Fantastic. And then we'll do our very final flyby. Yeah, I think that looks good. Oh, I didn't even do a start point. It's nice. When's the next episode? It should be in the pinned message. But it's coming out tomorrow at 20 minutes past 4 BST, British time zone. But there we go. That is essentially our coal power plant fully planned. I will be constructing this off camera starting tomorrow. It's late for me to be doing anything today. You guys most likely won't be seeing this for at least another few days because I'm trying to make videos ahead if I can. But yeah, it's a good start though. It's a good step in the right direction and I'm quite happy with it. I don't necessarily know how well this is going to fit because the actual design itself is very wide. Obviously we've got this. We've then got the path around both the right side and the left side. And in theory I could then continue this design both left and right and also front and back as well, so it could be a pretty thick looking design, which is fantastic. The actual core generators themselves I think look completely fine. It's a bit more of a modern brutalist sort of look in comparison to what I did before, but I feel like this looks better than what I did before. You definitely can't see the core generators as well in our previous design that we did in our 1.0 series, but again I feel like that's completely fine. It's a very different design, so I'm okay with that. The roof is good. I don't mind it. I think, again, watching the coal actually come down those conveyor belts look pretty good. Actually, one thing I do want to try and change. As of right now, I'm pretty sure those conveyor belts are Mark 3s or Mark 4s, whereas they're only going to be dealing with either 40 or 80 coal per minute, depending on which conveyor belt it is. So I'm actually going to reduce them both to a Mark 1 or Mark 2 conveyor belt. That way you can actually see the resource coming down, like, a bit slower like that, rather than like that, because then you blink and it's gone. So yeah, I'll definitely end up changing that. Adds a bit more immersion, I'll be completely fine with that. Regarding the actual call upstairs, I'm not going to try and walk up there, I'll just use the camera, the decoupled mode, since it's really cool for things like this. This is... Why has that happened? Why is there only one of them? I'll fix that off camera. This is super simple to connect. Just do that into there. And when I want a new line, I'll just drag a new line. And then I'll get rid of this part, then have the new line go into there. So yeah, very simple stuff. Mathematically, everything adds up. So that's great. If I've got a node of 480, that will then go into 12 of these. If I've got a node of 300, it will go into... That doesn't add up. 7.5. That's really annoying. Didn't even think about that. I think I've got 5 of them, don't I? It's 1,500 divided by 40. Okay, we'll figure that out off camera. But yeah, regardless, everyone, thank you very much for tuning in today. Today was a really fun stream. we managed to get everything done that I was planning on doing. Yesterday's stream was 2.5 hours long. Today's stream was 2.5 hours as well. That's 5 hours worth of blueprint designs. And that doesn't even include the other call generator blueprints I've designed off camera. So in total, we're looking at about, so far, because I'm probably going to make a couple more off camera, about 7.5, maybe even 8 hours worth of designing blueprints off camera and on camera, which is pretty mental, but I think overall it worked out pretty well, so I'm quite happy with that. Thank you again to everyone that managed to tune in today. I do greatly appreciate it. We had over 200 people tune in today, so that's incredible. I do want to start doing more streams, definitely over on Twitch. And I also want to try and incorporate some more GeoGuessr into my streams, which is what I normally do anyway. And I also want to try and start my streams a bit earlier than usual as well. Thank you for the 8 likes. That's extremely kind of you guys. I do greatly appreciate that. And I think that's just about it for me today. So thank you for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day. And hopefully you guys will enjoy episode 4 releasing tomorrow. Where... What do I even do at episode... Oh, yeah. It's an interesting one. But yeah, regardless, thank you very much for watching, liking, and subscribing. 9K in the next couple of days. I cannot wait. But yeah, thank you for watching. And without further ado, goodbye.